I only had 4 hours to paint this model. In this video, I'm going to guide you through my basic process for how I approach projects and how, using these techniques, you can better yourself. Hi, I'm Matt, and welcome to my channel. When we approach a project, no matter what model it is, no matter how complicated it is, the first thing we want to do is we want to break it down into its parts. When we look at this Genestealer, we're going to break it down into its 4 major parts: the skin, the blue clothes, the metals, and the cloak. So in this way, when we break the model down, it's much easier to think about and paint. Let's have a look at the first section. So as always, I start by washing in the base color. You can see it there, just a deep purple. I want to work up the kind of traditional Genestealer pink, and so after a couple of washes, that's the way I'm working. Now, because I'm pushed for time, I'm aiming for speed. So not as smooth an application as I normally do, and my washes probably run a little bit thick. But this is how it looked after the skin. So as you can see, there's a little bit of depth. There's enough wash in the recesses to bring out the highlights in the skin, but there is nothing extravagant about how I've done this. This took about 20 minutes total using a hairdryer to dry the paint faster, and I think it looks pretty acceptable. So let's move on to the next part. So similar to the pinks, for the blue cloths I'm following the exact same idea. All I want to do is just wash on some color, filter with a little bit of contrast paint, and then edge highlight with a lighter color. In this way we get a nice bit of contrast, and once again this probably only took about a further 10 minutes. So in terms of time, I'm actually saving a lot of time. And this is not complicated at all, and this is showing you how, if you are diligent and break your projects down, they are so much easier to paint. So as you can see, once the blue is blocked in, along with the skin tone and the base coat of the cape, it actually is starting to come together. It is pretty okay looking for the time being given to it. This is at about the hour mark. So realistically, I'm 50% of the way done. Now, this is only a tabletop model, but again, if you only have a short amount of time, this simple way of doing this and breaking down your model will really save you time in how you paint. So let's move on. So following on from this, I'm going to do all my metallics. Now again, I'm pushed for time, so there's going to be no MMM gold. There's no MMM going on here because I do not have the time. It is just Vallejo Air Metallics. I reapplied some black paint so the metallic paints would shine through a little bit better. Gave them a wash and a slight little highlight over the top. Once again, this is a very simple method for creating some good contrast for your metals. let's take a look at how it looks. So, unfortunately, the last section, the cape, I forgot to record it. Yeah, maybe you should pay attention and press the record button if you're going to record a project. Maybe it also helps to not procrastinate, because then you'd have more time to paint your models. And you wouldn't spend the past week sitting with a cold when you had last weekend to film all your B-roll. Well, anyway. So these are just the final details. The little bits and pieces, the lenses, the bandana. Just making sure I pop a little bit more so it stands out on the tabletop. And with that done, this is the final model. Now, this is by no means incredible standard by my own part. This is not terrible. I think this is the perfect kind of time to standard ratio that you can easily achieve in 4 hours for your tabletop minis. So, thanks for watching this brief video. If you liked it, thumbs up. Subscribe as well, help my channel to grow. And as always, what we paint next.